Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire. This is AJ and
Jake.
And today we're going to talk about the Wii and DS disappointment.
So what do you want to talk about first? DS?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, first, basically for us, we both got the Wii and DS close to launch, and the whole time we owned it, it just kind of disappointed us in terms of first party. That's all we're going to talk about, by the way, is first party. So
yeah,
we have realized there's a bunch of great RPGs and stuff on it. They're all third party. So
and everyone knows all the shovelware on both the DS and Wii.
Yeah, and we don't want that to influence us either. Although I really disliked how it ruined the image of Nintendo, sort of.
Yeah.
They're the shovelware-y system.
So DS, should we?
Yeah, I think we should start with DS.
All right. Let's see. What Mario games on the DS? We had a remake of
Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
That was the first game, and to me at least, that was the best game. And,
yeah.
And like that's the thing. That's what I think. That's part of why I was disappointed. Is they put so much effort in that game, and it was so like groundbreaking and awesome. I just don't think anything lived up to that.
I'm a huge fan of Super Mario 64 myself, and I still prefer the original.
Yeah,
just because it has an analog stick.
Yeah, and I like Mario being a one-man army, but yeah.
And I love how now that the 3DS is out, that game is just magically better because it has an analog stick.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Even though
now.
there's still a run button, which I don't like.
Yeah.
But and with Super Mario 64 DS, I wish they would have just kept it as one player. I feel like I got the same feeling in that game that I got with Donkey Kong 64, how it felt like it was just like one big game, but it was separated among the 5 characters.
Yeah.
And with this one, it's separated among the 4 characters.
Yeah.
With Super Mario 64, you could do the whole game as Mario. In fact, you had to do the whole game as Mario. But with this one, it felt separated.
Yeah, but I did like how it brought like variety to the game and spiced it up enough.
Yeah.
That it felt different.
Yeah.
I still prefer the original, but the DS one is actually that's probably my favorite DS game. I want to go
one of my favorite DS games.
I want to be far saying that third party, everything included. So that was amazing.
Mm.
So the other downright amazing game on the DS also has to do with Mario Kart DS.
Oh yeah, that's when did it come out? 2006, 2007? No, not 2007. Wasn't that late? Either 5 or 6, because the DS came out in 5, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, 04, late 04.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Well,
Kart came out in 06 or 07 though.
Yeah. And did it start the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection?
Yeah,
it was like one of the first games.
Yeah, on the DS it kicked it off.
Yeah, and it might still be up to this day. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it probably is.
Well, whenever I played it, I always end up getting a Japanese person who just kicked my ass in it.
Or a hacker.
Or a hacker.
I used to always get
or
stars.
Someone who just snakes throughout the entire
game.
Yeah.
But ignoring that, the game itself was very well made.
Oh yeah.
And I loved the mission mode, CPU battle mode.
And there's 7 different levels of right there. You had 6 different like sets of levels, and then you'd unlock the 7th one.
Yeah, and it was hard too. Mission mode was pretty challenging, and that was cool. Then I liked the tracks. 32 first game to bump up the track count.
Yeah, 16 classic tracks. I love that, and they picked some good ones, but they're missing like Koopa Troopa Beach on Mario Kart 64. Why would you not include that one?
I know that'll be in the 3DS one.
It better be.
Or else. So but that game was another amazing game that I really loved.
All right, then came New Super Mario Brothers. What did you think about New Super Mario Brothers?
I thought it was okay when you played it by itself, but then as you're playing it, at some point you go, why aren't I playing 3 or World?
Yeah.
At least that's what I did.
Yeah, it was for a Mario game, for a 2D side scroller, it was boring.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's not. It's just not as fun as the other ones for some reason.
Yeah, I thought the final 2 worlds weren't difficult. I heard a lot of difficulty complaints when that game was first released.
Yeah.
I never thought it was that hard.
It's a bit short.
Yeah.
I think Mario World was probably much longer.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. 3 was much longer, even though the levels in that game are shorter. That that game, it had some really good levels in there, but it needed
It needed, I don't know.
maybe a bit more variety.
Yeah, variety. I think that's a good word for it.
Um, it was a good buy. I ended up getting it for like $25.
Yeah, I got it on release day.
And some nice mini games in there, even though most of them were the same as the ones in Super Mario 64,
Yeah.
which was also a nice addition. I liked all those
Yeah.
mindless mini games, and
Yeah.
if you got bored of the just the platforming, you could just go play like a
Yeah,
card game or something.
yeah, that goes for either game. I thought that was a
It's pretty
cool
cool.
addition. Hopefully the 3DS games follow suit.
Yeah. So New Super Mario Brothers was good, I guess, but not fantastic. Nothing as good as Super Mario Brothers 3 or World.
Yeah.
And then what else? We'll close that.
Let's see. Okay. Peter.
Postpone.
Yeah. Hold on. Do technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Yes. Postpone.
All right, we're good to go.
Procrastination
Jeez.
for the win.
We won't even edit that. That was too funny. All right. You know what? Fuck it. Let's continue.
All right. What else? What else in the DS should we talk about?
All right. Next, I think we should tackle 2 Zelda games.
Oh,
We
yeah.
actually kind of differ on these a lot.
First, the first thing I think of whenever I think of those Zelda games is the control style.
Yeah.
I wish I could have just used regular controls for that.
Yeah, I think touchscreen. It pretty much killed the game for me. But I'm only using my feet. Well, it's part of like I only use my feet actually.
Oh well.
Yeah, so that kind of killed the game for me a bit.
To me, what killed the game is that it, or at least Phantom Hourglass. Okay, what killed the game for me about Phantom Hourglass is that the entire game is separated. That you're on the ocean and stuff, and it feels like it's separated into these very, very, very small chunks within the game. It doesn't feel like I'm exploring at all.
It's totally
the same with
not.
Wind Waker, except with Wind Waker, the islands were so just huge.
Yeah, like everything I ran into Wind Waker felt worthwhile though.
Yeah, Wind Waker's a great game. Wind
Yeah.
Waker did that exploration part. It did it right.
Yeah.
With Spirit Tracks, it's the same except the places you could stop at were a bit bigger than in Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
Because I think Spirit Tracks is a great game.
I haven't actually played that one, but I can't deny it's probably way better than Phantom Hourglass.
It is. They fixed a lot of things from that one.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
I like the characters from both of them. Lineback is awesome. I like the art style too. It's a little blocky, but I like the aesthetics though.
Yeah, I love the Wind Waker art style.
Even though people complain that it's not as dark as Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask, and Majora's Mask is dark.
Yeah,
that game is disturbing.
That's the most nasty game in the series.
Yeah, I need to play it again.
history. Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else. Those are the Zelda games.
Those are.
Phantom Hourglass is okay. Spirit Tracks is good to great.
They don't live up. None of them to me lived up to the other portable titles, or any titles, but really the portable titles. Maybe Spirit Tracks might be pretty good, but like Link's Awakening, I don't think.
I think Link's Awakening is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them touched that, and that's my big qualm with it.
What's the Minish Cap? Minish Cap is great. Have you played all the way through that?
No, I let our friend borrow it, and he has not returned it. But no. What I played of it, I loved though.
Oh yeah,
I played like 5 dungeons, and it was great. So
a bit short.
Yeah,
but on the short side. But I think it's still a great game.
Great game.
All right, so let's move on to
Metroid Prime Hunters.
I haven't played all the way through this game.
Me neither.
I played to the point where he says right before the point where it starts to feel repetitive and boring. So
Lucky.
where I played maybe an hour and a half of it, and I'm like, this is great. I'm having fun. But apparently, like right after that point, you start to feel bored.
Yeah, it's literally doing the same thing, like 6 times. It's like that Far Cry 3 trailer, Insanity. Is when you repeat
I tell you
yourself.
the definition of insanity.
Did I tell you that? Metroid Prime Hunters, that's the definition of insanity. You do like to fight the same bosses all the time. You go through the same boring, and I mean, to its credit, it does use the DS's 3D capabilities well, but it's still boring, the environments, because The DS wasn't made for a game like that.
It looks good.
Yeah, but I mean the environments in single player are so empty.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
Nice online component though.
Yeah, well, other than hackers, but you can play local multiplayer against bots too, and that's a lot of fun. So, but the single player to me is just outright outrageous, horrible, god awful. I'd never.
I thought the shooting mechanics were fun, but like in the other Metroid Prime games that I've played, they're good games, but the shooting itself does get pretty repetitive.
Yeah, I don't really like the gunplay
I
in any Metroid Prime.
Much prefer another 2D classic Metroid.
Yeah.
God, Nintendo, please make another one.
I know, get off this Prime crap, man. That's.
Side note, have you played Metroid Prime Pinball?
Oh yes, I love that game.
It looks fun. I've never played it. I really want to.
I'll talk about that for a sec. It's one of the best. The physics, pinball wise, are pretty bad, but the game itself is so fun you'll forget about them. It's like the Alien Crush games, if you guys ever played them. It's even like Sonic Spinball, and way better than Sonic Spinball.
I love Sonic Spinball.
I know, it's even better than that. But it's not really. I'm not sure if it's first party exactly, and it's just kind of like a side mini game, and it doesn't do Metroid justice, I guess. But it's still a very fun game. But I don't know. I'd just rather have a real Metroid game then, I guess.
All right. What else in the DS? Kirby. Canvas Curse. I played that briefly, and I thought what I played was fun.
See, I'm one of the few that, and this is going off memory for a couple years back. I didn't like it because
Really?
I think half the reason is I was expecting like a real Kirby game, but that game just it's not a real Kirby game, and it still has the easy difficulty, but you're just dragging them. It's like to the point where you're like, why can't I just control it myself? You have to use these lines to control them, and it feels like a tech demo. And even worse, I traded probably 12 Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games for it.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason. I shouldn't hold it really against the game. That's probably the reason. I just had to give up so much crap when the DS first came out to buy it, and it disappointed.
Now there are a couple other Kirby games in the DS, but I haven't played them.
I played Superstar Ultra, and that game was great. Only thing is, I didn't like anything they added wasn't exactly hard either. I was hoping for like fans that played it back on the SNES days, they'd add something really challenging, and they didn't. Well, they had the True Arena, but that was in the SNES version, and I don't know. Playing as Meta Knight was a lot of fun though, and overall a great game. Kind of a rehash though, which disappointed me a bit, but great game. Squeak Squad, from what I played, was pretty good as well. But I think Amazing Mirror just outclasses all of these.
Alright, so let's move on to Pokemon.
Pokemon. You don't play much Pokemon, do you?
I don't. I played a lot of Pokemon Diamond.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
But the reason I don't play Pokemon games nowadays is because I grew up with the first 151 Pokemon.
Same here.
The first gen was 150, was it? And
No,
then they
one.
added Mew.
Yeah. Mew's in the first gen game though.
Yeah, but you can unlock him through glitching,
I know,
etc.
I got two Mews.
But no, it's a good game, but of course, as we all know, it's Pokemon. It's the same game we've played 100 times.
And that's
before.
the big deal. Like here we have written Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black, White, and I'm just like, it's the same game.
Yeah.
7 times.
Same game.
And that's why I grew out of it. They don't evolve the series enough. And it's just the same thing. Soul Silver, I actually thought, for reasons I can't explain on here, or like I can't explain it, but I think the Game Boy Color one's better. Maybe because they didn't. I guess it's because they didn't enhance it enough on the DS that it, you know.
I just like the Game Boy games because they're the original Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. I'm just biased because I have my nostalgia feelings towards the.
I think I am a bit
original.
too, but even looking at these games, none of them really push the series forward.
Yeah, with the first DS ones, they were supposed to be the big new ones because they had online support. And, no, I don't know if anyone's playing them anymore.
Yeah.
But the reason they're not enhancing the series at all is just because it's the kids playing them, and the kids know that next year there'll be a better one, and they'll.
It feeds off of kids, and it's gonna feed off kids forever.
Well, they like it.
Yeah, I mean they love it, but like every time a new one comes out, there's a bunch of new fans waiting to get it. And
yeah.
then returning. It's an endless cycle, and it's sad that that series will probably never evolve itself into something awesome.
They had the Wii games.
Yeah.
Wii, but there was, nah.
All right,
Nah.
I wanted to touch on next little game called Animal Crossing DS. Have you played that? Wild
Yeah,
World.
I have played it.
Yeah,
I feel like I could get into it, but
I actually
it
got
feels
into
like
it.
it feels like you're just not doing anything.
See, and that's when I grew older. That's what I said. But like when I was still in middle school, way back when, I played it a lot with my friends, and I just moved too, and in real life, and so we would play on Wi-Fi a lot. We'd call each other up, have 4 people playing on Wi-Fi, and it was a lot of fun. You could just chill in people's towns and talk and stuff, and it evolved the GameCube game in every way. It was easy to communicate with friends. So for what the game was set out to do, I think it did extremely well.
So the big question: Animal Crossing or The Sims?
Definitely Animal Crossing, especially comparing the DS versions. Oh God, this
Oh, that's no contest. But
oh God,
Animal Crossing, at least it has a cute art style,
and it has a goal. I feel like Animal Crossing has a more focused goal. Like I gotta pay off my house.
Sims is a lot more repetitive, and I've been using
Yeah.
that word a lot in this video. It's because like a lot of these games have that repetitive.
Yeah,
feel.
that's something
But
old games didn't have. Is they're shorter, and you could add a lot of variety in 2 hours. And nowadays it's like
Yeah,
10 hours.
yeah.
But you're not, I think that's the main thing. But I agree. They can
Um,
shake things up.
But I liked Animal Crossing. I like the art style. The idea is pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, the idea is great. And if you can get people to go into the game with you, then it's totally worth it. Even now.
if you're buying it just to play it for yourself,
No, it's not worth it. Don't
yeah.
do that.
But if you have like siblings that want to play it, or just friends, family that are going to be playing the same game, then it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You really have to play it for a while to get into it, though. That was my
Yeah.
problem. I only played for like 5-ish hours.
Well, I
and it
played
was like,
for days on 3 different cartridges. I actually had to swap them.
Jeez.
It crashed on me because I went action replay crazy a couple times. So
I'm
I
staying
kept on buying
far
them.
away from Action Replay.
Oh, I am now.
I played some Contra 4, and I tried to use the Action Replay with it, and it deleted all my data, and my cartridge was just like not functional for a while until one day it decided to work again, and then I had to do everything all over again. If you played Contra 4, you know how hard the challenges are. But that's third party. We can't talk about that.
Oh, we can't talk about that amazing title. Okay, the last DS game we're going to talk about on here is Star Fox Command.
I've never played it before.
I have.
There are some good DS games I haven't played before, and
No, this is not a good DS game. Like,
It's not?
You're solely mistaken. Okay.
it looks good.
And let me explain it. I thought it looked good too, and that's why I got it like the day of its release. This is what you do, everyone. It's a it's
RTS,
not.
part of it's an RTS, right?
Yeah, you command your ships. First of all, there's only one set way you can win. I swear to God, there's
What?
like
So it's an
there's,
RTS, but you have to do something?
you have to do it.
What? How is it? So it's just RT. There's no strategy.
You have to do whatever the game demands you. If you even you have to do what the game was intending you to do. You can't form your own strategies. You have to do what you want to do. Then when you go into battle, you get put, and I can explain it like a blizzard. Like, it's blank, it's boring, and like the
God.
enemies are boring. You
Like-
hardly ever fight like any bosses. It's just
Jeez.
boring, drawn out. They add a huge story that's terrible. It takes Star
The new
Fox
characters
Adventures.
suck.
Yeah, it takes Star Fox Adventures route and story. That's terrible. Oh
So
God.
you said like a blizzard. Do you mean like the draw distances are terrible?
Partly that, and partly you're literally in like a white space.
It's like
Fighting
Silent
enemy.
Hill.
Yeah, it's
Except
literally.
Silent Hill's good.
That's the difference. Terrible game. Never buy that.
Okay.
And,
I
stay away.
apologize.
Stay away. Not a good game. Stay away
Okay,
from it.
so that's the last first party DS game we were going to talk about, right? Unless you can
So
think of more.
I wanted to talk about hardware a little bit too, like all
Oh.
the different iterations. So the DS Fat, I guess, introducing us to the DS, I think it did a good job. I guess.
Yeah,
It's a little bulky, a little fat.
Yeah, but I ended up getting the DS Lite as my first one. So I didn't get the DS like as soon as it came out, but I played a lot of the original on some of my friends' consoles. I actually like the weight, the feel of the DS Fat more than I do the DS Lite.
Yeah.
My phone's ringing. I apologize.
Hold on, BRB.
BRB.
Edit out.
Nah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay, never mind. We're not
Never
editing
mind,
that
not
either.
either.
Screw it. This is a podcast. We're natural. We're all natural. We're like, shit, we're natural. We're these shit.
Okay, so the DS Lite was ended up being the first one that I bought.
Yeah.
You ended up you bought the DS Fat, right?
I got the DS Fat. Came close to launch.
Did you get a DS Lite? Did you ever get a
Yes,
DS Lite?
I got a DS Lite.
And you got a
close to
DSi,
launch.
didn't get a DSi XL.
No. And what I liked, DS Lite was a good improvement because the back screen was way brighter. That was a nice improvement.
Yeah. And the viewing angle is great. You could you could actually play it outside. Take notes, Sony.
Yeah, but I thought the DS Fat was still slightly better. Because if you kill the backlight of the Fat, it's pretty good. It's like a Game Boy Advance. Well, I mean, it's not great, but it's good. But the DSi, dang, I felt like a moron buying it. Like, okay, I bought it. First of all, I bought it a year after launch. Mistake number one. Second of all,
you had no idea the 3DS was coming, though.
Yeah, I didn't.
They
know
hadn't
the
said a single thing about it.
Yeah, I didn't know the 3DS was coming. I thought it was like 3 years away. So, and the downloadable games, the main reason why I bought it, terrible.
Yeah.
There's maybe 10 games I'd recommend to a friend, and that's like, there's only like 10 good games on it for anyone.
At least they put it on the 3DS. But wait, there are some games that aren't compatible.
Yeah, and
Earthworm Jim, one of the good ones.
Yeah. My favorite DSi game, Earthworm Jim. The one I'm like, oh great, this is awesome. I'm glad I got this now.
That one's
not compatible.
That one's better than the Xbox Live Arcade version, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I honestly think it is. My brother bought the arcade version. I don't like it very much, to be honest with you. I feel like they could have put more work into it.
Future rapid fire episode? Question mark.
No, yeah, question mark.
Question mark. Okay, but basically, I mean, the DSi was a huge disappointment, but the Lite was a really good improvement. But if you have hardly any good games to play it on, I still feel ripped off.
But there are some good third-party ones out there, but we're not going to touch on them.
I keep on forgetting that. There are some good ones.
But, okay, so the last question I want to ask about the DS, the DS console, is, before we move on to the Wii, is, what do you think the killer app is?
I'm still gonna get. I said it then. I'll say it now. Mario 64.
Really, a remake?
Yeah, and that's terrible. But
because as of now, while the 3DS is out, the killer app is also a remake, Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
And but there are more games coming out. Oh, please be Paper Mario. That'd be amazing.
I really want an original game to be the killer app for 3DS though.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I mean, Mario Kart DS is a close second for killer app for me for DS, but first party wise anyway. But still, that's halfway a remake anyway. So, all right.
So should we get into the Wii?
Yeah, let's get on with the Wii, and we're gonna go in like the same order of games.
Right.
So let's start out with Mario. Again.
Mario. Okay, let's see. We have the Galaxies.
The Galaxies.
You want to start in those?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're amazing. Well, I mean, they're great.
I think they're good. Just good. I don't think they're as revolutionary as everyone says.
Yeah, I mean, like, actually, I don't know. I haven't played through them in months. But, I agree that Mario 64 was a huge step up for the series. And these were kind of cashing in on what the series does well.
I don't know if it was a cash-in. I think
more than that. I don't know. It's hard to talk about these games.
Yeah, I have very, very mixed feelings about these games. I can never get into Super Mario Galaxy too much.
Yeah, it goes from planet on planet to me.
It's like I wanted more of an exploration game, like Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine had. I feel like I was exploring. In Galaxy, you're put on these just random obscure platforms out into the abyss.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was exploring. I felt like I was forced down a path every time I wanted to get a star. You see, I've talked to you about this before. One thing I like about Super Mario 64 is that they have this massive, big, open level, and you get a star, and and then you go to get your next star, and you find that since you got that other star, this other pathway and this level opened up, and when you go down that pathway, you still feel like you're in the same level.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that in Galaxy. In Galaxy, I feel like I'm on the same exact. I feel like I'm in the same world, but I'm in this part of it I've never been to before.
Yeah.
And when I get the star, I look around and I say, really, am I still in the same world that I was in before? And it feels like it's, for lack of a better word, it feels like the game is broken, just like broken up into so many parts.
Yeah.
I don't like Galaxy that much.
Yeah, and the difficulty doesn't help either. It's really quite an easy game.
It's easy except for select few stars
select
that
few
are impossible
stars.
to get. You need to get through like an entire level without getting hit.
Yeah, but still, it was still a nice change of pace, and I'd always rather choose challenge over nothing.
Actually, the big thing that I think separates this, I mean, okay, well, what I was saying about New Super Mario Brothers on the DS was that it had no variety. These games have tons of variety.
Yeah.
I think, like, you have the different power ups.
Yeah, it feels more varied, but it still feels. I think it feels easier in New Super Mario Brothers, and that's not a compliment. It's still like 2 stars, but you only need 60 stars to beat the game, and if you can't get 60 stars in that game, I don't know if you're a gamer. It's just so easy.
It's way too easy.
Like, beating the game that way, it's not even a challenge.
I don't remember if it was IGN or GameSpot or something, but someone gave it like a 10 out of 10 and said it was like better than Ocarina of Time. Hell no, it is not better than Ocarina of Time.
It's way too. I mean, that game's not even that difficult, and this game, it's just too damn easy for me, essentially.
That's a big problem for me, but it's also what I said about how I can't look at a level and identify it, with the exception of the Toilet Bowl Galaxy, which that's not what it's called, but I think that's a great galaxy. You have this big open place. It's one of the few places in the game that are like that, and then you have this other part of it that's separated, that has the thwomps on it, and I don't know, but that was my favorite galaxy from the game, but that's only because it was one of the few that was open up.
Good music, though.
Oh, great music, yeah.
Yeah, great music. You can find the soundtrack pretty easily over the webs, and it's good. Recommend it. So, how about Galaxy 2?
I've barely played any of it, but it seems exactly the same to me.
It isn't. That's the huge misconception with this game. It does look, through the looking glass, exactly the same. But when you sit down and play it, it
has a map screen. That's all I know that it's different. It has Yoshi.
It improves in every way. Like, I think the levels, from what I can remember, are bigger than Galaxies.
Really?
And that seems like your main complaint. They seem bigger, the game's harder. Like, when you beat it, I think... I can't... There's a hard mode once you get all 120 stars, though.
Oh, really?
Instead of just Luigi.
Every game should have that. Every game with a big single-player experience should have a reason for you to go back and play the whole game.
And there's a hard mode.
Yeah, like, every game should have different difficulties. Like... Metroid Fusion on the GBA is one of my favorite games ever. It should have had a different, like, something to shake it up. Like, that's why I'm excited about Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, because it has Master Quest. And it feels like a completely different game when you go back and play it, because I've never played Master Quest before, but I've only played the original. Every game should have that. Like, Resident Evil, you play as Jill, you can go back and play as Chris, and you have the arranged mode. And that's awesome. I think it's pretty easy for game makers to do that.
What's even lamer is Metroid Fusion in Japan. They got a hard mode.
They got a hard mode, yeah.
And an easy mode, but who cares? But
yeah, that game is too easy, in my opinion.
Easy mode's dumb, but they got a hard mode, and I'm like, why didn't we get a hard mode?
Yeah,
seriously.
I'm gonna go off on a tangent here and say that when games are too easy, when games don't challenge you, they ruin the entire experience. For me,
I agree.
At least Metroid Fusion somehow pulled that off. I don't know how they did it. I still love that game, and it's too easy. But some games can be easy and fun, like Yoshi Story, Kirby 64.
Yeah.
Kirby's a perfect example.
Kirby's the prime example, the too easy yet too fun.
But most of the time when games are too easy, they are not fun at all.
But tying back into Galaxy, easiness doesn't really... for 2, it has that hard mode, and that really makes the game better for it. So I think Galaxy is a huge step up from 1. If you're bouncing between the 2, definitely go get Galaxy 2.
And that's what I've heard. I've heard
Yeah.
2 is massively improved over
Yeah.
1, but I've never played it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't have so much disposable income that I can play all of these games.
Yeah, same here. Broke high school students for the win.
Alright, what next?
New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Am I allowed
Again, meh.
Am I allowed to say clusterfuck on this show? That's exactly what that game
Exactly. Yes. Oh my god.
That sums up that game perfectly.
It's like many of these other Wii games that you hear us talking about. It's only good if you're playing it as a party game and not as a serious game.
Not seriously. If you have 4 people, don't try. Or I mean, try, but don't expect to do anything.
If you have 4 people play it as a party game.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a stupid complaint, but Blue Toad and Yellow Toad. Really?
Actually, it's a valid one. Like, really, why did they do that?
Why?
They could have Wario, Waluigi. That's what they should have did. Hell, they're even almost the same colors. You have to make 4th player purple instead of blue. But who cares?
Oh
They're like
God.
They even match up with the colors.
My mind.
They even
Why
match up.
would you?
One Toad would have been, I guess, standable.
Yeah.
But 2, no.
Jeez.
And that's dumb. And then, I mean, you'll fight over, especially with little kids. You don't have experience in this. I do, but like if they're playing, they're not Mario and Luigi, you can kiss your ass goodbye. Yes, they have to be Mario or Luigi.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's good.
So, my big complaint with New Super Mario Bros. Wii is that it feels like it is specifically designed to be a 4-player game.
But you can't play it like one.
Yeah, and then once you finally get 4 people to play it as, it's a party game.
Yeah, and you can't play it. There's no way in hell you can play it as intended unless you get 4 like MLGs, and even then you're still kind of.
Yeah.
It's still like, come on, like, and you'll yell at each other.
But then again, when you're trying to kill each other while playing the game, it can be pretty fun.
Yeah. You can't play that game seriously, and maybe that's what they meant. But and then in single player, it just feels like too big of a game to be by yourself.
Yeah,
and it's easy.
It's
easy by yourself.
Oh yeah, with the exception of a few levels, like there was one in I think it was World 7, where you're flying on these Paracupa, I don't know, I can't talk today. The flying turtles, and you jump on them and they go up, and I don't know. But that one's impossible. A select few others are impossible, especially when playing with multiple people. It's really not a good game. I don't like it that much.
Yep, me neither.
Now, okay, do you want to get into Mario Kart Wii for a second?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it might be a while because we were originally planning on having just an entire episode where we talked about Mario Kart Wii and how much we hate it. Oh God, I hate this game.
We'll probably get around to it someday.
Like a full review, but we'll go into it briefly right now.
Yeah.
I hate this game. I absolutely hate it.
Well, yeah, we just played it, and
oh God.
It takes no skill. That's the big thing with that game.
Absolutely no skill.
It takes no skill at all. You guys are complaining about Ghost Second Chance? No, you guys haven't played Mario Kart Wii at all.
Okay, first of all, the game is massively better when you play it with a controller. And I know you've heard that from every website ever, that playing it with the Wii wheel sucks. If you're playing it as a casual or a party game, then yeah, sure, whatever, use the wheel. But then again, if you're playing it with a controller, it's not going to be. You can't play it seriously anyway.
It don't matter. You play it with your penis. It don't matter. You can still get first. You'd still get first. It don't matter what the hell you play that game with.
What items you get. You basically need to get the best items to win. My biggest complaint with the game is, you heard me bitching about before, was the walls. You hit a wall and you come to a complete stop. No matter what, you stop.
And if you go off road, you're a snail.
Not just fall into the cliffs. Yeah, I can understand that. Where has to pick you up and put you back on the road. No, if you go in you're driving on the gravel and you go in the dirt, then you slow down to a snail's pace.
Yeah.
And everyone passes you up. You could go from first place to 12th place in a matter of seconds, and it pisses me off.
And the items spamming with 12 bots, with a bunch of bots, are just horrible.
You can't play this game professionally. I was just playing on what was it, Waluigi Stadium or Wario Stadium or whatever. The ones where the paper can't even think of it. piranha plants. How did I not think of that? The cardboard piranha plants come out of the tubes. I hit one of those, okay, and then I fly into the fireball, and then a lightning bolt comes down, and I'm splattered on by the blooper, and then like I'm hit by a red shell, and then a blue shell, and like seriously, excuse me, game, for not playing the game right. I apologize.
Yeah, let me just get an instant bubble shield. They don't even have, like, other than Star, that's what that game could have maybe used, is, like, skillful tactics to dodge everything.
Yeah.
I know Power Block, so you can negate the effect a little bit. You still get hit by it, but it's not as bad. But they should have counters, like, every single item that you can do.
But they really didn't feel like putting in depth in this game at all. There's no depth.
How is it the best-selling game?
How is it the favorite Wii game?
How is it the best? I think I love every Mario Kart better than every single one.
This is the, in our estimation, this is the low point of the Mario Kart series.
And we're scared shitless for the 3DS one. It better be like the DS one. It better not go with the Wii's.
I'm scared.
Coding.
I'm so scared.
I'm scared for the DS one. The hang gliders are already kind of making me go.
All right. This is 35 minutes. This is 36 minutes.
Well, screw the timing now. All right. Whatever. We made it 51 last time. Deal with it. So.
All right. So let's move on from that. We'll have a more in-depth review someday of that. Let's move on. Zelda. Okay, we're still waiting for Skyward Sword. We've already shared our opinion on that.
Kind of mad.
Twilight Princess. Now, let me tell you, I love Twilight Princess. It does feel like a GameCube game, but I love this game. I love it to death.
See, I think it's outclassed by most of its predecessors, but I think it's still a great game.
It is one of the biggest games I have ever played.
It's huge.
Most massive games ever. Hyrule Field is about as big as Ocarina of Time in total. No joke. It is huge. It is absolutely gigantic.
See, but my main complaint to that is it feels empty.
It does. A little empty. There are a few heart pieces scattered among Hyrule Field, and it does take a lot of exploration. I ended up spending around 70 hours on the main game.
40 minutes running around on a horse or dog foot.
But at least they have a good warp system. They have Epona to ride. Epona. I don't know how to pronounce that.
See, I think that game was a great game to move the series forward on consoles. Then we get Skyward Sword. That game's not out, so I guess I gotta hold my tongue, but I think that's gonna disappoint TP fans.
Yeah, probably. Now, Twilight Princess is one of my favorite Zelda games.
See, I think I name like 5 that outclass it on consoles, but.
And I do think Ocarina of Time is better. Ocarina of Time being one of my favorite games ever made, and I know that's cliche. But Ocarina of Time is just fantastic. And a trailer for a review coming up. Not sure when. It might be a little while. He's playing Ocarina of Time 3D. He's never played.
The game in its entirety. I played I played until he turned into Adult Link, and then that's pretty much it.
But he's never played it all the way through, so this will be his first time playing it all the way through, the 3DS version.
I'm also semi-live tweeting that. Follow me on Twitter, Metroid007.
Yeah.
He's VG Jake. Description down below with our Twitters.
Yeah.
Go on.
But so when we review that game, it'll be he'll be describing it as someone who's never played it all the way through, and I'll be describing it as someone who has played it several times through, and talking about what I think of the new features.
I already know we disagree on some things right now.
Probably. Oh, yeah, we already disagree on many things
about it, so it'll definitely.
But we're not going to say anything yet. We're not going to.
Let's shut up about Zelda. Metroid.
Okay. I'm sorry, I've not played.
I haven't even played.
But I've played Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Without a doubt, it's my favorite of the Metroid Prime games, but that's not saying much because I don't like the Metroid Prime games.
Really? I thought the first one had better environments and things.
I love Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. It's a little weird to be with other people, but of course you were in Metroid Prime 2 as well. You had like Space Marines or something.
I didn't like 2 or 3 at all. I felt like I don't know. I didn't like the boss fights. I didn't like. And 3, I thought the corruption system was kind of poorly done. implemented. Didn't think that was implemented right, and
I thought it felt okay.
overall, I didn't like the environments either. But really, the only Prime game I was like is number one. And
Everyone loves number one, but I'm not a huge fan.
oh, really? Well, I mean, I can see why that was the first in the series, and other things came later. But I'm not a fan of the whole series. Give me them 2D ones any day.
Oh god.
And then they give me Other M, which is 2D,
Hybrid, strange hybrid.
and they managed to screw it up somehow.
Okay, let's not talk about the cutscenes. Everyone has been talking about those cutscenes. It's been done to death on the internet.
Cutscenes.
Yeah.
No.
But let's talk about the gameplay. No one ever talks about the gameplay of this thing. How is it?
It is. You see, what ruins the gameplay is complete and utter auto aim. Complete and utter
Yeah.
auto aim. It's like you shoot and your bullet always goes to the enemy, and it feels more like a. Really, and this is going to be such a cliche to answer, it feels more like a Ninja Gaiden game than a Metroid game. And I mean,
I wonder why that is.
I know, but it really feels like, it feels it has more emphasis on kills, not as much emphasis as survival, in recharge, or exploration.
Is there any?
Some, but it's nothing compared.
Is there basically
Fusion has more exploration, dude.
Jeez!
Fusion has more exploration.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. And recharging your health at any given time is totally bogus.
Oh yeah.
And missiles, like you can't really get too many missiles, like 255 count, hell no. But you can get way less missiles, and the recharge, you have to recharge them. When you do it, it automatically recharges your health, and just feels like you can't die in that game. Unless you don't know a boss's weakness. That's the only way you can die.
Alright, so before we move on, I want to ask the question, since I've never played it before, does it feel like a Metroid game?
Yes, but it kind of feels like it's deranged because that's a wrong word. But it feels barely like a Metroid. It's like it has the bare minimum of Metroid, and it doesn't. That's it.
Because the Metroid is this strange series where you never really know what to expect anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think this will end up being known as the Black Sheep?
Of the Metroid series?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like Metroid 2 was never a black sheep like many other 2s back then were.
Yeah, Metroid 2, Return of Samus in the Game Boy. I played most of that game. It was interesting. It's a little different, but it was still pretty similar to the first one. And when comparing this one to the standard 2D Metroid formula, and then comparing Other M, the standard formula, Metroid 2 on the Game Boy just seems like completely normal. When to me, that one was the black sheep. But now, I've never played this one, but it seems like this one's more of earning of that title.
This one's a black sheep. Even compared to the Prime games, it's the black sheep. Love it, hate it.
Yeah.
It's Other M. It's still worth it.
It's the Zelda 2
play. Yeah, it's a Zelda 2. Let's move on to Kirby. Just mention, we haven't really played any Kirby Wii games, which is Kirby's Epic Yarn. I haven't played much of it.
I just want to say that Epic Yarn has some, one of my favorite art styles in any game ever made.
Yeah, I love the color book art styles in games.
I absolutely love it. It reminds me of Yoshi's Story.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Story, also one of my favorite art styles. They look pretty similar. Anyway, but that's we've barely played any of the there's only
I can't go in depth.
2 Wii Kirby games.
There's one and one on the way. If there was that one on the way was out, I'd probably talk about it, but it's not here.
We don't know anything about it at all.
So Pokemon Battle Revolution. Move right. Wait, did you buy it too?
No, I didn't buy it.
Oh, okay. It's terrible. It takes every good thing about Stadium and screws it up. It's Stadium Light. It feels like if in 64
Stadium
days...
Light was already light in the first place.
It's as if someone gave me a demo copy of Pokemon Stadium. A shareware copy. Here you go, shareware of Pokemon Stadium.
The big thing about that game is that it had some kind of connection to the DS, right? Didn't it?
And online random was actually the reason I got it.
Oh.
But connection to DS, and even that was fudged up because you couldn't... I forget, something's fudged up about that though. It was way lamer. Oh, you had to use specific Pokemon per trainer battle. Online, I guess it was cool, but that was lame. And then online, luckily online is great because it lagged like hell. But all it is saying what you want your Pokemon to do. So.
Oh well, yeah. If it was
matter.
was more action oriented. I mean, turn-based games, they're lag. If there's
Yeah.
tons of lag, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. So I mean, the only Pokemon Battle Revolution, $50 to play with random people. That's what it is. I don't even want to talk about
that
the
game
campaign.
just kind of sickens me when I see it. I just see an empty, just like a void of
It's literally
content and
a
and gameplay.
$50 pass to play online. You guys think online pass is bad? For your $50 play online with your Pokemon.
It just
I don't
sickens
even,
me.
and I don't even think it's compatible with Soul Silver, Heart Gold. I think it's only
Really?
compatible with Diamond, Pearl. And
Wow.
I guess hopefully Platinum. Might not even be compatible with that one. Okay,
But
but
that depresses me. Let's move on.
yeah, Animal Crossing DS.
Wii.
I mean Wii.
Wii.
The DS one's better, and I don't want to. It's the same exact gameplay as the DS one, but somehow worse. And I can't really say much more than that. But it's harder to connect with people, and
It just seems like you'd want to play Animal Crossing more on the go than you would on a TV anyway.
it's lame. It's terrible. I pre-ordered it, bought the strategy guide, and
Strategy guide for Animal Crossing?
yeah, someone picked it up for me. But and I played 2 hours of it. I think I'm like, no, I'm not paying off my freaking house again. I did that once already. I thought, oh, the city, you can go in the city. No, the city's terrible too. City folk, no, it's just no. Okay, so
Just no.
finally, let's talk about a couple other Wii games
Oh,
here.
some other gems.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Good.
Good. I think the other two outclass it though.
Oh God, the first one is better.
Yeah.
I love the first one. I think Melee is the more competitive game. More people play it.
Yeah, that's
Obviously.
my favorite.
First one's great. Second one's better. Brawl
Is
step down from both of them.
it casualed it up. Casually made the gameplay more casual.
It's still one of the more hardcore games in the Wii. People still love it. But
Yeah, but they still. The main reason why Brawl is a disappointment to me and others is the online was totally crapped on.
Yeah, they delayed the game for like a month so they could be like, oh crap, let's put this online mode in that we're only putting in because some fans wanted it.
With shit netcode
Oh God, I hate that.
That's
I
the
hate
worst
online so
netcode.
much.
in the world. I think it lags so bad.
It's a nightmare.
It's absolutely
Is
unless
it-
you play. If you play locally, it's aight. I've done that a couple times. It's okay if you play with people within your area.
What about friends? Yeah, if you play with friends, it's better.
Yeah, it's a lot better when you play with friends. But I mean, if you're close enough for it to work flawlessly, you'd probably just go to each other's house.
I've only played with friends in that game like twice and never again. But with Brawl, my biggest complaint to the gameplay itself, discarding the online mode completely and all the delays and
All
everything,
the other
that just made it a little more
Yeah.
disappointing when they delayed it. Anyway, but my biggest complaint is that there are far too many variables to take the game seriously.
yeah,
Too many
there's
items, too many different items, assist trophies,
Smash balls.
Dragoon pieces. Seriously, do we really need that many variables? And then there are like the characters that are exactly the same except
Yeah.
a couple different moves.
and less skillful to use. Like even if you turn off items, it still doesn't feel like you're skillful. Like it
Yeah.
still feels like gross.
There are some craptacular maps on there, like
Yeah.
New Pork City is my least favorite
Oh, thank God someone
fighting
said that map.
ever. What?
Yeah, I agree with
It
you.
is the worst thing
For
ever.
like, no, even if you put like 8 people in there, I don't think it'd be that good.
It's okay. It's not just with New Pork City how it zooms out so far, since the map is just gigantic and you can't
Yeah.
see anyone. The camera always zooms out too far.
Then it
I
zooms in
feel
on that
like-
pig thing that blows up in the bottom
Yeah,
right
some
hand
of the assist trophies are lame, like that one, like the Nintendo dog that's just annoying. The guy from Animal Crossing, when you remember when he
Resetting.
complains to you. While that is very funny, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's just you can't take that game seriously. And
That's what we've been saying about
yeah.
all these games.
Yeah, you can't take Nintendo seriously.
At least for this gen.
Yeah.
And also Donkey Kong Country Returns, great
All
game.
right. Great game.
I don't think I have any complaints for that game. Is it a great game?
Yes, do that. Oh, great.
Thank you, Retro Studios.
Like 1 month before the Wii dies, you give us a masterpiece. Then you shoot the Wii. You're just like, okay, have the best Wii game of all time. Bye.
I love that game.
Yes,
There's
it's
no
awesome.
problem. I love it.
Co-op's a little poor, but
A little,
you know
but
what?
it's still a great game.
It's still an amazing game, and it has the difficulty. It has everything a good Wii game should have.
It has massively challenging difficulty.
Yeah, and that's what I love.
that. After
Yes.
all of these easy
Easy,
Wii games,
easy,
I finally
easy,
get
easy.
that challenging Wii game, and then
Yeah.
the Wii dies. Not die. No, it's not dead. It's made a crap ton of money. They've gotten so much money off the Wii, as you all
Off
know.
of Silverware.
Okay,
then-
so what else?
I guess we could briefly mention sports.
Wii Sports.
Tech demo
cool
sports.
tech demo. We got it for free, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they had to make
Um,
Resort, and Resort looks okay, but still, I'm like tech demo.
Yeah, whatever.
I guess you can't say much about it.
It's just all those games are just like just whatever.
Let's talk about the hardware about the Wii for a minute, because I think we could say a couple things about the hardware, such as the community. You were saying today the
There's-
community is just so bad on the Wii.
Well, there is no community.
There-
How do you
there is
connect to
none.
people?
You have to get a friend code for every game you play.
It's called the Wii, but how do you interact with someone outside of your own family? That you don't like with Xbox and PlayStation. You can see like their quotes. You can see what games they've played. You can see what trophies they've had, what
Enjoyment
accomplishments. Yeah, join games in progress. But of course, you know that's not what the Wii was going for, and I get that.
But that made every game terrible.
It's like with I can buy a crap game on PlayStation or Xbox and still have fun with it because at least there's trophies and achievements and
Yeah.
and I can like play with my friends and stuff and talk to them and message them about it and you know because it's a connected community. With
Yeah.
Wii of the friend codes.
Yeah.
You know.
And then their downloadable store. The lame thing about the Wii is my fondest Wii memories, my precious Wii memories, are from playing VC games. I had a Super Metroid on SNES and the battery died and I never could play it very much.
Aw.
So when I got the Wii version, I sat down. I remember playing that game so much on the Wii, and that's my fond Wii memory. A 20-year-old game, best game of all time, but a 20-year-old game.
Oh, best game of all time, really?
Oh,
We're gonna go there?
Ocarina of Time versus Super Metroid Go. But I mean seriously, that's my most fond memory. Oh, and side note, WiiWare has like nothing good.
Yeah,
It's-
don't bother.
Don't
It has,
bother.
no
The Bitrix
exclusives
games.
to mention, but
And even the Bitrix games are coming to 3DS, Wii on a disc. So even those games, the good games on WiiWare are getting shot.
so should we start wrapping up? This is almost an hour.
How did this pass our E3 video?
I don't know. I thought this would end up being 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. All right. So let's wrap this up. Disappointment from every conceivable angle.
I can't really see a bright side. 3DS is, for me at least, Nintendo's last stand. I just shot Nintendo and put them in the last stand, second chance. If the 3DS ends up being lame, I'm not buying the Wii U, not buying the 3DSu, or 2, whatever.
3DSu.
3DSu. I'm buying the 3DSu, well, that's probably what it'll be called.
Oh, God.
I'm done with Nintendo. Unless they remake Super Metroid, I'd buy whatever the hell that remake would be on.
I agree. The 3DS is like my last chance for Nintendo. I think I see a bright future ahead, actually, for the 3DS.
I said that about the DS and the Wii, though.
Well,
I did.
Well, I wasn't in the same position that I was when I bought the Wii. I thought when I bought the Wii, I thought I'd be playing so many games in that. I still remember the day I bought my Wii, and I was so excited.
Yeah, I remember being super
But-
excited, too.
But both of us, we didn't buy the Wii for a motion controller. We didn't buy the DS for a touch screen and a microphone and dual screens. We bought it because we knew it was going to be the only way that we were going to play the next Kirby, the next Mario, the next Zelda, the next Star Fox, the next Metroid.
Yeah.
And most of those disappointed us.
Yes, the Wii disappointment.
The Wii/DS disappoint.
The Nintendo disappointment. That's the title of this video.
That's what we'll call it. The Nintendo disappointment.
Yeah, and every single console before these two are better. You agree with that? or better?
Except the Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can, yeah, okay.
Nintendo, NES is better, Super Nintendo is better, N64 is better, GameCube is better.
Game Boy Color,
Game Boy
Advance.
Color, Game Boy Advance.
Even Game Boy Advance, and I was somewhat disappointed by that.
Really? I love the Game Boy
Oh
Advance.
my god, okay. We might start actually, never mind, I just put thought in it, and never mind, I love it. It got ports of like every Mario game. Never mind, I'm sorry.
I don't mind ports, I like me some ports.
I was thinking of the N-Gage, I'm sorry.
I get
sorry.
those confused all the time.
I get those two things on them screens. Never mind, I love the Game Boy. I kid you, Game Boy Advance. But,
Alright, so we better end this. It's 55 minutes and 10 seconds to this point.
We can still market
We'll
this
add in the
for-
intro, so it'll be a bit longer. So, there we go.
The Nintendo disappointment.
That's it. Oh, and by the way, last week I gave it the ending. I said that we were gonna review a couple games, so we couldn't get around to that. A bunch of things got in the way, so that didn't happen. We apologize for that. This
Yeah.
episode's like a random thing that we just decided to make out of nowhere. But
Yeah.
but there you go. That's our opinion on
Yeah.
Nintendo's current gen.
Yep. Also, a quick note about non-Nintendo things. Follow me, Metroid070 on Twitter. Follow him at VGJake on Twitter. Follow this podcast on iTunes and Blip TV as well, guys.
Yeah, when you watch on Blip, there are some crappy advertisements in there, but we make money, and all the money that we make is not going for our personal sake. It's going towards the podcast.
Yeah, it's going for this
It's
better
going for the
webcam.
show. For
games.
more better equipment, whatever.
Yeah, so definitely. Yep, that's about it. I think that wraps us up.
All right,
Nintendo's disappointment.
that's it.
That's it.
See ya.